Hello and welcome, my friends. First, a quick disclaimer as I like to do on my so-called channel. This product right here was provided to me free of charge by the manufacturer for testing and review, but as always, the statements in this video are my own and I will be definitely giving my unbiased opinion here. With that out of the way, the subject of today's video is the erabros RS1 vacuum cleaner. The market is full of robotic vacuum cleaners, so what makes this one special? I will go ahead and give you the spoiler. It's the combination of quality, performance, and price. In other words, its overall value. Now let's look at it a bit closer. Starting with the packaging and contents, the box it comes in is pretty simple, but it is of decent quality, and once inside, there's nothing fancy going on here, but you get everything you need. In the order of my unboxing, in the box I found some paperwork, 2 AAA batteries, a simple cleaning tool, an extra filter, an AC adapter, some zip ties, a vacuum cleaner itself, a remote control, which was actually much nicer than I expected, 4 brushes, and the charging station. Putting it all together is not rocket science, but if you need some help, there's a quick start guide that shows you what to do. Removing the unit out of the shipping bag, my first impression was, it's light, and it feels nice. There are no sharp or cheap feeling plastics. Buttons click nicely and make a loud beep. The dustbin comes out and goes back in nicely as well. On the bottom of the unit, you have the suction hole, 2 larger wheels, 1 small wheel in the front, charging prongs, and 2 brush spinner thingies where the brushes clip on. Which is super easy to do, by the way, no tools required. Just position them in the right spot and push down until you hear the click. Then you need to remove 2 protective strips and it's good to go. And for the charging station, just plug in the power cord and put it in your favorite spot. After the setup, my first test was to let it loose in our guest room and come back later to see how it did. I first inspected the carpet, there were some visible pieces of dirt lying around, and even a dead bug. We don't have an infestation, by the way, we just live in Florida, so we get all kinds of critters crawling from outside from time to time. And off it went, doing its thing. It did start beeping loudly at one point, so I went in to investigate and found it stuck on a plastic bag that I found under the bed. I removed the obstacle and restored it, and it continued with its task. So now it's done, and here are the results. All the loose pieces of dirt that I mentioned are gone, and the little guy is charging peacefully. Inspecting the dustbin, I see that it did pick up some junk, including the dead roach. It doesn't look like much, but to be fair, this room is barely used and I didn't expect there to be a lot. I say pass this kind of maintenance task. Next, for the real test, we left our kitchen, living area, to accumulate some dirt for about a week. It included crumbs, questionable outside debris by the back door, and even some human hair. I mean, I live with a female, it happens. I purposely did not do any special prep, I just let it run with shoes, chairs, and other obstacles in the way. For some reason, it chose violence first and went right after me as soon as it turned on, so I hid in my office and let it do its thing. It did get stuck on a bamboo stick at one point, which it did notify me of with a very loud beep, or a series of beeps rather. Once again, I removed the obstacle and restarted, and it continued on its journey. It went for about an hour and a half, and when it was done and I went to inspect, well, the area does look much better. Not perfect yet, but again, vacuums like this are not meant for deep cleaning, in my opinion, but more of a maintenance. The RS1 found its way to the charging station with no issues as well, and inspecting the dust bin. I was actually surprised how much stuff it collected, including a ton of cat hair, which is strange, because our cats do not come inside. Anyway, I think it did great here. Finally, let's inspect the included paperwork. It's nothing fancy, but it covers everything you need. Your initial setup, gives you some support resources, and the quality of it is decent enough. It even has some color. Speaking of, oh, wait a minute, a nap? There's a nap? Here's the app. It's called Smart Life. I didn't even realize I had one. Looks like I can set the schedule, select different modes. Here we have Auto, Edge, where it would sweep around all the edges of the room or area. Spot Cleaning, where it would focus on the spot you place it in and clean gradually growing circles until you're satisfied. And Manual. In this manual mode, turns out is a lot of fun. It basically lets you control the vacuum like a remote controlled car. Now that I'm thinking about it, there are buttons on the remote that probably let you do the same thing. Basically, you can do everything you can do with the remote from the app, plus scheduling and viewing some basic stats like cleaning time, battery status, or the remaining life of your filter and brushes. You can also find your vacuum if it gets stuck somewhere. Nice. It's simple but functional. Alright, and the conclusion. In the beginning, I said the best thing about this vacuum is its value. Here's the thing. Does it do better than, say, Samsung JetBot that I also own? Not really. The Samsung is more powerful, it has advanced mapping features and robust integration with its ecosystem, but the Samsung JetBot costs $400 on its own, and at this time you can't even find it from any large retailer. They all have the cleaning station version for $800, that's the cheapest I can see, unless you shop from third-party resellers, where the erabros RS1 technically has an MSRP of only $200, but last I checked, it was on Amazon on sale for under $150, and for this kind of money, honestly, you get much more than you would expect. The quality is good, and it gets the job done, so for basic cleaning needs, it would work just fine. One thing that I noticed, it definitely does better on hard floor surfaces versus carpets or rugs. It's more of a sweeper kind of guy. I really like it. It's an easy recommendation for the price.